So welcome back to the Wolf's-Den. Today we're going to look at this survival tin. You've seen from the posts on Instagram, etc. I've carried this for about 14 years, not opened it until the other day. I've changed the bag that it lives in a few times. It normally lives in a Ziploc bag, and as you can see, it's got tape across and a hole, and then it's attached to a lanyard. And this lives in my flight suit normally. I've actually had one of the leg pockets sewn so this fits in and doesn't move around. To compare it, if you think of jeans, Americans call them pants. Jeans, what cowboys wear. Nowadays you get the little pocket so your change sits in it and doesn't jingle around. Similar to that kind of thing. So I opened it the other day. I'm going to look what's in it. So as you can see, this is actually the BCB matchless fire set. Contains flint and striker, fire blocks, cotton wool. That's what it originally contained, however I've added to it. So it's sealed with tape to keep it airtight, watertight. However, we can also use the tape as a means of starting fire. One of the principal skills we need to have is fire. Fire applies to all principles of survival. Protection. It protects us from insects, wild animals, gives us heat. Location. Gives us signal fires, a means of being recognised even at night. Water. Can make water safe to drink. Food. It can make some foods are normally inedible until cooked. And there's nothing like a hot meal. So the tin lid, sorry the camera's kind of high, I'm in a different part of the house today. On the inside there's some instructions. These originally I've not changed it, however this can peel off. The inside is kind of shiny, so we can use a signal mirror if you have the skills, or you can look at yourself once we remove this. So we've got a mirror and we can look at you saying, how dumb am I? Then inside the tin I've added a few things, and I'll go outside in the garden because I can't go anywhere else and demonstrate. So I've got 4 strips of rubber inner tube. The reason, just from a normal bicycle tyre, I think these are a motorcycle tyre, and they provide really good means of fire even when they're wet. Then in the tin we've got some cotton wool. Normally the cotton wool I would keep with Vaseline. I prefer actually Vicks Vapor Rub. You've all seen it for common colds. This is a small tin. I use this a lot. I'm in the jungle, we get insect bites. We can put it on, it numbs the bite, it cleans it. And it's Vaseline based. And I'll demonstrate that in a minute. But because I carry this, if I was going to pre-coat these, I'd have to keep them in a Ziploc bag because everything gets really greasy. So we've got cotton wool. Then part of the original kit, when I get everything out, because it's tightly packed, there's a set of like mini Hexi blocks, like barbecue starters. These are ripped open, so I'll probably put a bit of tape over this, but I've not opened it for 14 years. Then we have a tampon. Why do we carry a tampon? Not for treating wounds and trauma, because as we all know, tampons are designed to retain blood, not to create clogs. It's to provide tinder even. So it's used as fire starting and it's sealed. Or, not to be sexist in any way, a certain survival instructor who works for me says it's in case your survival overwhelms you, it's to stop you becoming a big vagina. Apologise for the language, but I find that quite funny. Then in a tin, I've not opened this for a long time, in a Ziploc bag is our kind of magnesium rod, but it's Different to normal in that we have, this is basically a hacksaw blade. I don't know if you can see this. Let me move up to the camera. Ooh, it's the wrong way around. So we've got one end that's sharp. This has been ground down to a sharp edge, and then we've got a serrated edge. We would use the back of this on our striking rod. It's not been used in a long time. Yeah. But by this being sharp, it gives us, if we're cutting up birds, dissecting, a saw, not for cutting wood. I'm lazy. I use parallel log fires to keep warm. If I need to cut wood, I'll use the fire to cut the wood. I'm not wasting energy because I don't have much of it. But it allows us to process certain food groups. Next in there, these are the additions. So apart from the inner tube, this is kind of the standard kit. I've added whatever, 6 paces. I'm 6 foot, so what, 10, 12 feet. This is fishing line. And then I have 4 fishing hooks and some normal small safety pins. The fishing hooks, obviously with a safety line, and then if you saw the episode on earplugs, we can create floats. But also we can use this to kill birds and game. If you've ever read the book Danny, Champion of the World, it is a actual survival technique. We can thread fruit onto this line, and then ground feeding birds will eat it, and then they've now got 10, 12 feet of line right around the guts, so we can catch them quite easily because they can't run anywhere. If we didn't have fishing line, we can use paracord. However, if you're not aware, the US call it 550 cord because I think it's 550 pounds is the breaking strain. This is kind of your commercially available. Hang on, I can't see the camera. There it is. Where's it gone? It's coming back. I'm upside down, I do apologise. As you can see, this is all frayed. This is commercially available compared to military. Now look at the difference. Oh, stupid camera upside down. It's gone. Let's come back. There we go. And then we'll rotate that so you can see. We get these fine strands on the inside that we can create fishing line. We can create fishing line through natural fibre cordage made from plants, but I'm kind of lazy, so I like it. I do carry a fishing kit in my survival vest and my survival gear. This is NATO stock number 42209913888693. It's got 30 meters, hooks, different sizes, shot, swivels, flies in a sealed kit, and I'll do another video on that. They are available surplus, but these are kind of available. I've got 4 hooks. The safety pins are predominantly, I can use them as small fishing hooks. I can repair my clothing if it's damaged. There's nothing worse like you snapped your belt and it falls to bits. And then finally the tin itself, I can collect water. I can use it as a shiny thing. But it's not a lot of water. However, if you're thirsty, what's that? Half an inch, or if that's a man, 12 inches deep. How do we collect water? We can't create a solar still from any of this. We can't do a tree still. However, I just get up early. I can walk through the long grass or the wet grass in the morning with my t-shirt wrapped around my ankles, and I can wring it out, and I've got at least a drink of water for the morning. So there's not a lot of kit, but it's not a big tin. If you're not allowed to wear a vest because you don't like the image, you don't think you look cool enough, or you don't want to look cool, whatever reason, small tin, anything bigger than this is going to be too heavy, and you're not going to carry it. So when you need it, you won't have it. I don't personally carry navigation like a small button compass or anything, because the priority is to stay with the aircraft. Search and rescue, we're looking for the aircraft, not you, because the aircraft has the emergency transponder or your PLB. So we don't encourage people to walk anywhere. But it's a small kit. I'll go through, I'll go outside and set fire to some stuff just so you can see the difference. But that is my small tin. So here we go, we've got some of the contents from this, which is the cotton wool, and our vapor rub. Like I said, I carry this all the time. And it's Vaseline based, smells nice. If you get insect bites, yeah, I can't feel them. So it's multi-purpose, and if you don't like the smell of anything, it hides the smell. So I'm going to take the cotton wool, I'm only going to use 2 parts because I'm actually in the house. I couldn't be bothered going outside because there's a curfew. We'll kind of get them equal sized. So on this side we've got no Vaseline based product, and then the other we're just going to douse it in there. And the key is not to get it too thick. We need air in there, little air pockets. And then I'm going to put them side by side, and then I'm just going to use the best fire starter ever, is a lighter. It took 1,000 years to invent. If you notice, especially in the USA, you have a childproof lock on here. That's been pulled off. My flight one, I've got gaffer tape around here, so if you pull it off, it's only a couple of rolls, not to make it too bulky, but that also gives me tinder. But I'm going to set fire to both at the same time. So this one has our Vicks Vapor Rub and our Vaseline. This one is not. And just look at the burn time difference. So the one without Vaseline, this one, is pretty much out. Our Vaseline based is keep going. You can time this if you want. I'm going to have a drink of rum, because I can. And it's still going. The other one's pretty much out. So even if you pre-prepare it in a Ziploc bag, in my flight bag I've kind of got this box that's got it all in. It's falling to bits because of the sunlight. It's already prepared because it is really messy. So even in a small survival tin, put it in a small Ziploc bag. So even when it's not soaking wet, but you will be able to start it. And it's still burning. And look at the difference in time. That time may be the time you need to start your kindling and your firewood proper. So that's burning away, and it keeps going. We've still got a really good flame. It's kind of hot. Well, it's fire, obviously it's going to be hot, but it burns longer than the other. So it's this preparation, a simple thing. The reason I use, you can just use normal Vaseline. I like Vapor Rub. Like I said, we work in the jungle. I carry tubs of this when I'm doing stuff with Nat Geo and Netflix, because when everyone gets bitten, we can just, it's probably not in any medical manual, but we can put a ton of it on. It numbs your arm, you can't feel the insect bite. It cleans it, and then they can still produce and film. I use it quite a lot just so I can continue with my job, and it's still burning pretty much. So the other thing we're going to look at is our strip of rubber inner tube. This is a cup of water. Oh look, it's in a cup of water. Yeah, it's nice and wet. I'm still inside. It's dripping water. I can shake it off. Literally, I'm going to use a lighter just because of ease, but instantly we get a flame that we can start our fire from. Even in the rainforest, rubber is fantastic. So that's the contents of this tin. It's only small. If you don't want to wear a vest, it may save your life. Stay safe.